Can you pull up that video? Now. Can you pull up that video that Kamala Harris shared yesterday or 2 days ago that got 6-7 million views? That probably wasn't the best timing. I'm a byproduct of escaping Iran to come here because of that video. Just so you know, I don't know if you saw that video or not.
No,
Have you seen the video?
Haven't seen it.
Have you seen Kamala's video?
It's not a VC pitch.
Watch this. Watch this.
Just the start of it.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity.
Here we go.
Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still gonna be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
I'm getting emotional watching this video. It's a tearjerker. Tom, what do you think about this video?
It looks like it was made for 5-year-olds.
What do you think about this video when you see this? Adam, what
So
do you think about
there's
this
a big difference
video?
between equality and
Kai,
equity.
can you pause that? Is it really?
No, I don't know.
I can't understand why was it made. Like, what was the point of it?
What she's trying to say is that socialism
I
works.
get
with-
what I get what she's trying to say, but I'm like, right now, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you went socialism with that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be.
Where did you go with
what
that?
I would be thinking.
I mean, I'm just
You pay
taking
3
it on
extra
its
high
face
intensity
that there's a
games.
difference
You
between
win the Super
equality and
Bowl.
equity.
You
And
get a
she's
Super
basically
Bowl
saying
check.
that
Right.
Except
black
it gets
people
cut up
have
and you
not
get
started at the same starting place as white people. That's where I went with
That's
that.
how you processed it?
I didn't think.
Okay.
No, we get our money.
Do you have a nickname?
I'm saying-
Do you have a
Get his
nickname?
thoughts on that
We'll give you a
as a
nickname.
Ray, how did you
black-
process that?
Well, here's the thing: it's like you just said.
But no, I must have done.
It's kind of to put it in that context. It's a little
I'm
different.
gonna come up with a nickname for you.
It's a little different because I understand what she's trying to say, of course, that if your track, I mean, let's just call it what it is. If I start in the hood and you started in the suburbs, you're probably going to get to where you're trying to go as far as success, if you're going to measure success on that. As far as success-wise, if we both were given the same resources. You started in the penthouse, I started in the projects. That's pretty much what she's saying. That's what she's saying.
That's how I took it.
That's what she's saying. She's saying that there's no, where you are saying, some people will say, oh no, it's not happening. Everybody starts on the same foot. Everybody goes out and work the same. If you work hard, you're going to be successful. That's not always true. It's a lot more.
I disagree.
I fully disagree. And I know you disagree with that because you came here. But here's what I'm saying though. But here's the thing though. It's all about your mindset. It's all about your mindset. And when what she said in that, or what I'm assuming what she was trying to say, I would have approached it in that manner. Just if your mind has been tampered with for so long, and then you finally get out and they give you the same resources, you're probably not going to end up the same way. I can work 19 times harder than you. Sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. But for the few, it will. Mm-hmm. For the few, it will. Everybody's not going to get where you got to because of work ethic. I mean, I know guys that will work all day, all night. They're still not going to get.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that, but I don't think that's the only area though. I agree there. I think at the end of the day, to give a message like that, it's to me it's a divisive message because for me, look, everybody has the same amount of hours per week. I can pick and choose to watch TV when I get home. I can pick and choose to pick up a book. I can pick and choose to go home and play video games. I can pick and choose to learn how to sell and learn a new skill set. I can pick and choose to go and watch sports all night long, and I can pick and choose to start a side business. I have that choice. And I don't buy into what she's saying with that video.
Though, I mean, of course you can pick and choose certain things, but it's just like me being a professional football player. A lot had to go right for me to end up.
Yeah, including you had to work really hard. I think you should be offended by what she said, to be honest with you, because what she's saying is it goes against everything that this country stands for, meaning let's all get to the same place, and if you don't have this certain advantage, well, we'll take from the people that have it, we'll bring it down here so we can all be here.
I didn't get that out of there.
I
didn't get that out of
What was your predominant area growing up?
Dallas.
I'm from LA. You're from Dallas. Okay. We watched in California Kamala Harris change the incarceration rules. This is not a Trump talking point. It's real. She changed the rules. It's bad, right? It says
And that's why
crack and powder had penalty like this. Crack
exactly
had this kind of penalty.
Yeah.
Powder had this penalty.
You know that's
an absolute discriminate.
Yeah, because we're not doing the powder. We're doing the crack. We know because we can't afford the powder. That's
$5 on the pipe.
Yeah, that's rich
$80
stuff.
$80 a gram.
No doubt.
And
so that's why. But that's look.
Tom can do laps around everybody at this table regarding the topic of marijuana if you wanted to. We're not going
there.
See,
that's why I was saying PBD that I said I have my differences because of that part of her. So now. She comes in, now it's a whole different thing that she's come. So that it's kind of double talking to me. So it's hard for me to listen if you know that early part. Because she definitely wasn't saying those things then.
I start from the starting point that she's the most liberal senator in the Senate. So you've got to read between the lines of everything she's trying to say. She is trying to push it towards a socialist, communist regime, basically. That's what she wants.
I think that she, especially with this message, she is surfing on a wave of cosmic hypocrisy that I can't even swallow it, okay? Because she will come out with something like this and she'll rant and rave about how we need to invest in our minority communities, which we need to do. But she didn't think about that when she incarcerated thousands of people for trivial crimes.
Exactly.
And so this is what I'm talking about is the media makes it so hard for you to actually research the validity of a candidate. And I'm so sorry. We can say what we want about Trump. God, he's a buffoon sometimes. But Kamala Harris is not a friend to the African American community. She is not.
Yeah, I did an IG Live Thursday, and I said, "What do you think about what's going on?" And we had people there from Iran, Haiti, Philippines, El Salvador, and all of them. We said, to answer that ad, we have a great resource, United States of America. That's the resource, and just depends on how you use this resource. The access to information, the access to a lot of the programs.
And it's really different. And now, to be honest, it's a lot. I would definitely look at that now in this day and age. I would look at it and say, I don't agree with that.
And a lot of
because of what you can do now with social media.
But they got so many people believing that they need a handout to get a hand up.
And see that, and most of that I feel, once again, I go back to what I said earlier because I feel that's political talk. That's politics talk. Look at, okay, what do you think they want to hear? And let's run that ad.
Exactly. So Patrick, as an entrepreneur, do you not feel like your obstacles make you better at what you do?
No question about it. I think the biggest thing is just the distractions. I had a choice on what to do with my time. And by the way, this is coming from a guy asking. I was so glad the day my sister decided to work with us in PHP, and she's one of our vice presidents out of Southern California. Shout out to my sister Paulette and Siomax Kingdom Builders. They do a great job. I'm very proud of those guys. But when Paulette came, I told everybody, go talk to my sister about who I used to be. I said, go talk to her. And I said, Paulette, tell them everything. I'm totally fine with that. And she said, you sure? I said, just pretty much everything. So
just leave those 2 nights out. Leave those 2 nights out.
There's a lot she doesn't know.
How much time do you have? It was 2 nights that I don't want to say. But
you know what was the best thing? Because what people needed to know was what I did every day. I was at a nightclub. In the Army, I drank a bottle of tequila every single week on Friday, Saturday. I finished one, our buddies would go finish one, then we go straight to Nashville, Tennessee, either Mix Factory, Connections, or some Silverado, to learn how to dance country. I partied every night. I could care less about books. First time I ever finished a book, I was 21 years old. I never finished a book cover to cover until I was 21 years old. Never. So I didn't use my time wisely. And then one time, my dad has a heart attack. I go to the hospital, UCLA Medical Center. I see him. I go down to my car. Next day, I said, it's over with. I'm not going to live this life. From that next day, I said, don't call me to the nightclubs. I'm not coming to the nightclubs. I'm not coming to the parties. I don't want to do nothing with you guys. They said, we don't believe you. I said, try me. 6 months, nothing. They stopped calling me. And then my life changed. I made a decision to go in a different direction. And I had everything around me, Special K, LSD, ecstasy, cocaine, heroin, pot, you name it. Every single thing was around me. I made a decision to go to different. Parents got a divorce. My parents got a divorce twice. All of these things you add up together.
Right.
I refuse to buy into you feeling sorry for me.
Right.
The biggest offense I take when somebody feels sorry for me. You know the whole Thanksgiving, people would bring you stuff, and it's, oh, poor Patrick. Don't ever worry about.
See, Pat, that's your. I mean, I love that. Don't get me wrong, but that's once again, that's your mindset. That's a mindset. I mean,
I disagree. Because
everybody doesn't have that.
Are you a man of faith? Are you a man of faith?
Very much so.
Okay, so man of faith. God, the story about the talents. Is that a new story? It's a 2,000-year story.
Yeah.
What's
Great
the story about?
Yeah,
it's a story about 135.
Everybody has a different talent.
Okay, but
he gave everybody something.
God, if you believe in God, you believe in free will, freedom to choose, right?
Right.
Kamala Harris doesn't believe in freedom to choose. Kamala Harris believes let
Most
me choose and I'll be
change
God.
mind, and that's what you did.
What I'm trying to say is, if you believe in God and I believe in God, and say 41% of America believes in God, okay, let's just say Christians, not just God, a lot of them believe in God, but a different God. Let's just say 41% is Christians. And he said, you have the freedom to choose. You have the free will to do what you want to do. You can make good or bad choices. Right. So what are we going to do? Now you're going to rate me based on not hold me accountable to my bad choices? I made bad choices. Right. I chose to make bad choices. It's not on you.
And that's exactly what this country is lacking.
And unfortunately,
accountability.
The difference between an RFK or a JFK and a Kamala Harris or Joe Biden today is the following. A JFK said, stop asking what your country can do for you. Today, they're saying, ask what your country can do for you. Yeah. It's flipped. It's the same Democratic Party. Why are you asking the country to do anything for you? I went to Boston. When I'm in Boston, I went to the John F. Kennedy Museum. When you go into the John F. Kennedy Museum, by the way, if you've not been, you have to go to it. So you go to the John F. Kennedy Museum, and they show all the back problems this guy had. Growing up as a kid, nobody thought he was going to do anything. It was always Joseph. He went to war. He was a pilot. Joseph gets killed. Dad is devastated. Anxiety, panic attack, depression. The father. No one thinks John F. Kennedy is going to do anything. And then one day John F. Kennedy decides to run, and he becomes a president. When you go there, you know what was the most interesting thing about John F. Kennedy? How many different countries around the world loved John F. Kennedy? How many different countries around the world created their own museum just as a shout out to say, listen, man, we respect you, we love you. Other countries, not paid for by America, not a George Bush library here in Dallas, not a, John F. Kennedy library in Boston. What's the point? There's a very big difference between the Democratic Party of 1960s, 1970s, and even 80s versus 2020. Yep. Very different. I sit with the guys in my company. You know what company I run. Yeah. You know exactly what I do. We've sat down, the first time we sat down at 5 guys, and we started talking. That's how you and I made the connection, and that it led to all these other things that we've done together. In our company, I'm from Iran, okay? We are 54% Latino. We are 18% African American. We are 51% women. We are, I don't know what other stats to give you. We sit down and we talk. So what are you for?
1% Filipino.
You know what's crazy? We now have multiple executives in the company that are gay and lesbian. Multiple gay and lesbian. We have a lesbian couple that's hardcore Christian that they get treated royally. We don't sit there and judge you at all. We welcome you. Come on down. Let's go take over the world together. We don't have any issues against you. Moral of the story. There's a Democratic Party of John F. Kennedy, and there's the Democratic Socialist Party of today, where let us solve all your problems for you. I don't agree with that.
And I don't agree with that, but that's the political side.
That's what Kamala Harris said.
And that's the politician side
but that's
of
what
it.
they're voting for.
Get your vote.
That's Kamala,
Get your vote.
That's what did I tell you, PBD, last time we talked about it.
And they're not going to
They will say whatever the hell they want to say to get your vote. I don't believe half of the, and that's where the problem is. The problem becomes this. Trump has shown us, we're not guessing, we know what he's about and what he's going to do and how he operates over these last 4 years. So
is that a positive or negative?
It could be both. It depends on who you are. Depends on who you are and what you like. If you like it that way, it's a positive.
Well,
if
he's
you
not
don't,
for sale, and that's not their game.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what about the economy and things like that?
I mean, look at the economy, yes, but you have to go back and some of the stuff that Trump is saying, like he's saying all he's done for the blacks and this, that, and the other, some of that stuff he shouldn't even say. Like,
are you saying it's not true?
Some of it's not true. But
are you saying that Trump is not the least racist person that
Abe Lincoln is coming to get him? Right? He's on a flight. He's on a flight. He said, if he mentions my name one more time, I'm on a flight.
When I saw him today, when he said something, I mean, listen, I'll be the first to say today he said, I have to tell you, I've been the greatest president for African Americans since Abraham Lincoln. And I have to say that because out of respect, some even say I'm better than Abraham Lincoln. Yes. But so he does those things, which is a little bit. And by the way,
annoying.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
But
some people.
But I tell you, I don't disagree with you with that part. I don't. But I cannot stand a philosophy that tells me, poor you, Patrick.
Yeah,
this is why you need us.
Yes.
Listen, let me give a shout out to a couple people. One guy here, Funes, said that he guarantees Trump wears, Superman wears Trump underwear, is what he says. He gave $5 just to say that.
Superman wears Trump underwear?
This is red.
So Coach Constance said, $25 cut. I think she's doing a shout out for her business. We got Patrick is so right. I don't know on which point.
So
$25.
I'm sorry, PBD. I missed the raising. What are we? You said $25. I keep hearing these numbers.
These people are donating.
They're donating money. So I'm going to call somebody
for
here.
What? Is there something?
They love you.
Trump
They said we
campaign.
love Ray Crockett.
No, I
He's
just
the
missed
most
it.
handsome guy on the set. Ray,
PBD, I
got to give it to you, man.
I just missed it.
They're
I just
giving
wanted
you
to
love.
know.
I'm calling, by the way. If somebody picks up, let's see if we got him on speaker. I'm not putting it on speaker. Okay, so I'm going to call Ricky. Ricky, if you're ready, Ricky, you're getting a call. Ricky's about to get a call, and I think he has some thoughts for our friends here. I don't know. I don't think, Ray, you've ever met Ricky before.
Is Ricky in California?
Ricky is, he may be in Michoacan. He may be in Michoacan. Let's raise the audio a little bit.
Yo.
Ricky!
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, Ricky, what do you think about what's being said right now with Ray Crockett, with Adam, with Tom, Jerah, Sapaula? What's on your mind?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Pat. If I could be honest with you, with all due respect to the professional football player that you have in front of you, I'm a little bit disappointed because, as a kid that grew up watching sports and listening to, watching Oscar de la Hoya and watching Julio Cesar Chavez and watching all the boxers that we admire, I would hate to hear the message that, well, it depends where you come from. It depends where you come from if you're gonna make it or not. It's a very disappointing message from a kid that grew up in the hood that wants to aspire to be somebody, because now what you're saying is, oh, I can only make it if the circumstances are perfect. I can only make it if everything is lined up for me. It's because I got lucky. That takes my chances of success away. And that's the issue right now. Like you said, Pat, the issue is not red or blue, Democrat or Republican. The issue is that one government is trying to, here you go, you're unable, you're incapable. I come from a family in Mexico. We're from Naranjo de Chila, Michoacan. It's one of the most dangerous parts of Mexico in the world. In Mexico is the most dangerous part. My family migrated here. My dad had 5 businesses with he didn't speak English. He was 28 years old and he had absolutely no papers. I mean, we didn't grow up to be victims. We didn't grow up with handouts. So to be told that we can only do things or make things happen if things are lined up for us, it's just very disappointing to hear. And on top of that, that's why I don't buy into socialism. Hispanics are naturally conservative. Hispanics naturally, we want to work hard. We love our country. We love God. We love our families, and we don't want handouts. But now what happens is you have a government that's saying, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that, we're going to give you this. Why are people subscribing to that? Why are we being told that we can't do something by ourselves, that we are forced to need somebody? I don't need anybody. I'm a grown man. I don't need another man to hand me something out. I don't need another woman to hand me something out. Why can't I trust my abilities? Why can't I trust my talents, my God-given talents? The Bible says that God made me unique. The Bible says that God made me who I am as a man.
I agree.
Why should I have to depend on another man?
Well, I think if you look at more so where she was trying to go with this, I don't think she was more so trying to say, and that's why I said the commercial was bad, because it wasn't explained enough. It just wasn't enough explanation. But if you go back and you look at the home situation of buying homes, first time buyer homes and all this stuff with HUD and all the ways that they tried to bamboozle us and not allow us to buy homes and things. That's what she's talking about when she's saying, start out equally. They only give out 10% of the loans, and they don't go to.
She wasn't gearing that commercial at the black community.
I think she was just gearing it in general. I think
but the thing is, Tom, here's the thing though, Tom, here's the thing.
By the way, just FYI, Ricky, give me a second.
Yes.
When Ricky speaks, when you guys talk, even into your mics, you're whispering, they're picking it up. So don't say anything when the phone caller is speaking, and we'll respond back to Ricky. Go ahead, Ricky.
But here's the thing though, Tom. Here's the thing though. She represents the party that literally owned the slaves. She represents the party that supported the Ku Klux Klan, that supported Jim Crow. The party's never switched. It's a myth. It's a lie. It never happened. There's no proof of it. That she supports the party that LBJ created this program that incentivized father absence. That's part of the party she's a part of. And on top of that, I mean, if you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, we're gonna, poor you," well, of course, poor me, because you created a system. If anybody created the systematic oppression, it was them. So to sit there and try to say like you're gonna be my savior, you're the one that shot me. Now you're gonna come and put a Band-Aid over me. Now you're gonna try to cure me? No, get out of my way. Give me opportunity. Don't try to be my savior when you're the one that shot me. You hunted me now, and now you want to pretend like you're gonna save me. On top of that, Joe Biden, 1977, he was against integration and he wanted segregation. I mean, this is the same man that pushed the crime bill, the mass incarcerated blacks. Yeah, Trump just signed the First Step Act that released 4,000 prisoners, 85% of them being black. I mean, if we're going to look into the history of this party and we're going to look into this message, why can't we see past the bullshit? Why can't we see past the hypocrisy? Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's lies and hypocrisy. The same states that keep voting blue continue to be the states, the 10 worst cities in the country are Democrat cities. And the people keep voting the same way. Why? There's got to be a change. Stop telling me I can't make it. Get out of my way. Let me use capitalism, free enterprise, and the free market system to get where I need to get to. Stop telling me that. I don't need to hear that I can't make it. I don't need to hear that circumstances need to be perfect. I don't need to hear that I was screwed over 50 years ago. That has nothing to do with my choices right now. It has nothing to do with who I am as a man right now. If we're going to talk about that, the Spaniards came and took the gold from the Mayans and the Aztecs. They took 1,000 years ago. They come and wiped us out. They changed our religion and killed our leaders, raped our women, took our gold. What am I going to do? Cry about what happened 1,000 years ago? And I'm all of a sudden generationally wounded because I had post-traumatic stress disorder because of something that happened 1,000 years ago? That's the message they're sending. It is so annoying.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, just like I told PBD, it's really a mental thing. At the end of the day, you have to, as a man, woman, whatever, you have to decide and make your mind up as to what you want and what you want to be without expecting any handouts at all. The harder you work, things are going to come your way anyway. I believe that. I believe you'll work yourself into a good situation.
Ricky, imagine what's going to happen when she gets some real power.
But here's the thing, though. You got to understand this. This is what politicians do. This is what they've been doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
To get in, I'm going to say what I need to say to get votes.
I disagree, though. We just watched Robert Kennedy give a talk. This is today's politicians. If you want to add today's, if you want to say today's politician, I agree. I don't think this is.
Well, you're going back, but I'm saying
today.
Let's just say,
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree
we're on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
As far as I can remember, that's what they've done.
You know, even Malcolm X warned us in the 1950s.
He did.
He warned us about the liberals. He told us the white liberal is deceiving. Now the liberals are now black, white, and Mexican.
Malcolm X.
It's just the demographics changed, but the reality is the liberal has never changed. They've always been the same way. Malcolm X warned us in the 50s before they killed him. So the reality is nothing. You're right. Nothing has changed because it's the same people deceiving us, fooling us, and we keep falling for the same bullshit every time.
And they keep flip-flopping.
So, Ricky, tell us, who's winning tonight?
Trump 2020, baby. Trump, baby.
How did I know you was about to say that?
We're tired of the bullshit. Keep America great.
Ricky, we'll talk to you later tonight as the results are coming in. Take care, buddy.
Ricky,
I miss you.
Bye-bye.